Hi everyone, welcome back to Professional Health. Today we're diving into a topic that affects so many women but is often misunderstood: hormonal imbalance. Hormones are like the messengers in our bodies, telling different systems what to do and when to do it. When these messengers get their signals crossed, it can throw everything off. Most people think of hormones just in terms of those teenage years or maybe menopause, but the truth is, hormonal imbalance can happen at any age. We're talking about changes in your body that can really impact your day-to-day life. How do you know if your hormones are the culprit? Let's explore 5 key signs of hormonal imbalance and what you can do to address them. Let's talk about that time of the month, ladies. We all know that our periods can be a bit of a nuisance, but they're also a vital sign of our overall health, especially when it comes to our hormones. A regular menstrual cycle typically lasts about 28 days, but it can range from 21 to 35 days. If you're noticing that your periods are consistently irregular cycles that are shorter, longer, or all over the map, it could be a sign that something's off with your hormones. Specifically, we're looking at estrogen and progesterone, the 2 hormones that orchestrate your menstrual cycle. Estrogen helps build up the lining of your uterus, preparing it for a potential pregnancy. Progesterone rises after ovulation to help maintain that uterine lining. If there's an imbalance between these 2 key players, it can throw your entire cycle out of whack. You might experience periods that are unusually heavy or light, you might skip periods altogether, or you might even have spotting between periods. Irregular periods aren't something to just brush off. They can be caused by things like stress or sudden weight changes, but they can also be a sign of underlying health conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, or even thyroid disorders. If you're noticing irregular periods, don't just reach for the pain relievers and hope for the best. Talk to your doctor. A simple blood test can help determine if your hormone levels are indeed the culprit. We all have those days where we feel a little sluggish, right? But we're talking about something deeper here. We're talking about that bone-deep fatigue that just doesn't seem to go away no matter how much sleep you get. If you're constantly feeling drained, like you could sleep for a week and still wake up tired, it's time to start thinking about your hormones. One of the biggest culprits behind this kind of persistent fatigue is a tiny gland in your neck called the thyroid. This little powerhouse is responsible for producing hormones that regulate your metabolism, which is essentially how your body uses energy. Now, if your thyroid isn't producing enough hormones, a condition known as hypothyroidism, your metabolism slows down and you start feeling that sluggishness, that brain fog, that just overall lack of get up and go. But it's not just your thyroid that could be playing a role in your fatigue. Remember those adrenal glands we talked about earlier? They're responsible for producing cortisol, your body's stress hormone. This chronic stress can put a tremendous strain on your adrenals, leading to a condition called adrenal fatigue. So if you're feeling like you're constantly running on empty, don't just chalk it up to being busy. Talk to your doctor about getting your thyroid and adrenal hormones checked. Let's talk about the scale, that often dreaded instrument that can send our emotions on a roller coaster. It's normal for our weight to fluctuate a little bit, but if you're noticing significant changes in your weight, especially if you haven't made any major changes to your diet or exercise routine, it's worth considering the role of hormones. One of the key players in weight regulation is insulin, a hormone produced by your pancreas. Insulin's job is to help your cells absorb glucose, or sugar, from your bloodstream, which your body then uses for energy. When your cells become resistant to insulin, a condition known as insulin resistance, glucose can't enter your cells as easily, and it starts to build up in your bloodstream. This can lead to a whole cascade of problems, including weight gain, especially around the midsection. But insulin resistance isn't the only hormonal culprit behind weight fluctuations. When your thyroid hormone levels are low, as in hypothyroidism, it can also lead to weight gain. If your thyroid is overactive, a condition known as hyperthyroidism, it can lead to unexpected weight loss. If you're noticing unexplained changes in your weight, don't just assume it's because of your diet or lack of exercise. Talk to your doctor about getting your insulin and thyroid hormone levels checked. We all want that radiant, glowing skin, right? But sometimes our skin has a mind of its own, and those pesky breakouts and blemishes seem to pop up at the worst possible times. While we often associate acne with those teenage years, the truth is that hormonal fluctuations can wreak havoc on our skin at any age. One of the key culprits behind hormonal acne is, you guessed it, those fluctuating estrogen and progesterone levels. Remember how these hormones orchestrate your menstrual cycle? Well, they also influence your skin's oil production. Before your period, when estrogen levels drop and progesterone levels rise, your skin's sebaceous glands, which produce oil, go into overdrive. This excess oil can clog pores, creating the perfect breeding ground for acne-causing bacteria. And it's not just breakouts that can signal a hormonal imbalance. If you're noticing changes in your skin's texture, like increased dryness or sensitivity, it could also be a sign that your hormones are out of whack. Estrogen plays a vital role in maintaining your skin's hydration and elasticity. So, when estrogen levels decline, as they do during perimenopause and menopause, your skin can become drier, thinner, and more prone to wrinkles. Stress hormones like cortisol can also contribute to skin problems. So, if you're battling persistent acne or noticing changes in your skin's appearance, don't just reach for the over-the-counter remedies. Talk to your doctor or a dermatologist about the possibility of hormonal imbalances. We all have our ups and downs. Those days when we feel happy and energized, and those days when we just want to curl up on the couch with a good book. But if you're experiencing sudden, intense mood swings, or if you're feeling constantly on edge, anxious, or irritable, it's worth considering the role of hormones. Our brains are incredibly complex organs, and they rely on a delicate balance of hormones to function properly. When this balance is disrupted, it can manifest in a variety of ways, including mood swings and increased anxiety. One of the key players in this emotional roller coaster is estrogen. Estrogen plays a crucial role in regulating serotonin and dopamine, two neurotransmitters that are essential for mood stability, feelings of well-being, and motivation. When estrogen levels fluctuate, as they do during your menstrual cycle, perimenopause, and menopause, it can disrupt the delicate balance of these neurotransmitters, leading to mood swings, irritability, and even feelings of depression. Progesterone, that calming hormone we talked about earlier, also plays a role. Progesterone has a calming effect on the brain, and when progesterone levels decline as they do before your period, it can leave you feeling more anxious, irritable, and prone to mood swings. And let's not forget about stress hormones like cortisol. So if you're feeling like your emotions are on a constant roller coaster, don't just suffer in silence. Talk to your doctor about the possibility of hormonal imbalances. Hormonal imbalances can be challenging, but small lifestyle changes can make a big difference. Things like managing stress through meditation or yoga, eating a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats, and getting regular exercise can all have a positive impact on your hormone levels. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Millions of women experience hormonal imbalances, and there are resources available to help you navigate these changes and reclaim your health. What's one thing you'll try today to support your hormones? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Professional Health for more tips on women's wellness.